Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nerddom channel. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about Dr. Disrespect's and Midnight Society's new snapshot for Deadrop. This is going to be Snapshot 7. Now the new thing that they introduced this time is something called Midnight Ride. And what this is going to be is, this is going to be our way of getting to the map for the vertical extraction shooter experience. It's basically a car race, and you are able to stick your head out of the car and shoot at your enemies, and they do blow up, and it does put them behind. Now, when you end up arriving to the finish line first, you can choose then the spawn location for the vertical extraction shooter experience in the tower. And you'll notice that the off-ramps are labeled with the different buildings, the different areas that you will be then spawning into. I still don't know yet if it is better if you spawn in on the first one. I did try to spawn in on the third one, but I do know if you get to the map first, you do see that there is a counter on the top right hand side of people that are in the map with you and people that are still racing in their cars. So it is a good idea to get to the map first. You can gear up, you can then be ready for everyone else to join the fight. So this experience at first was very buggy, but after a couple of tries, it did smooth out. Now, all of this is still a pre-alpha test, pre-alpha phase. So to have something that is semi-final art is pretty cool, and it was accompanied with some skin packages as well as some, I wouldn't call them loot crates, I would compare them to the way Counter-Strike does the crates, and then you open up the cases and then you get random items. With this new snapshot, I did purchase 2 of the driver keys, the Dr. Disrespect and then the Midnight driver key. So with that, I got 5 cases per pack. So I had 10 total cases. So we opened those up on stream. We were able to get 1 exotic, which was pretty cool. The overall experience, I did have to mess with some settings. Your microphone is open when you first start the game, so you have to then change the audio settings to push to talk. I also then changed the key bindings for leaning, as well as the push to talk for team and proximity. It is kind of annoying trying to figure out the settings on your first couple games, so just be ready for that if you end up getting into it. Performance of it is getting a lot smoother. It does feel a lot less floaty than it originally did. The experience overall is smoothing out very well. And the guns, I think they're toning down the amount of recoil. So if you're playing the vertical extraction experience, shotguns very close are pretty good. Otherwise, you're only gonna get them for about 7 hit points or so. The submachine gun's pretty good as well. It doesn't move very much with recoil. Still, my favorite is the basic assault rifle. That's still my favorite. The DMR is pretty good as well, especially with some attachments. You can hit some people pretty far on the map with a 4x scope and some other pieces. The stock as well, made specifically for it. Oddly enough, the auto pistol still is a pretty good choice. The maps, not much has changed with Cold Storage or Proving Grounds 2. There is a couple more art assets added to Proving Grounds 2. I think there's some more vines and some other pieces that they've added. Otherwise, it's still the same bare bones map. The real interesting part of this though is definitely the user generated content. So I think they're calling it the DCMs. And what that is people within the community with Midnight Society, with Deadrop, they're making these game modes, and you're free to do so as well if you get the pass. A couple of my favorites, the Capture the Flag is pretty good. I wasn't able to get into an actual full lobby with high octane Capture the Flag, so most of the time it shrunk down to a mid-size to a small size Capture the Flag experience. The mid-size looked to be about 4 players each side, and then the small size experience was 2 on each side. So that was pretty hectic, and if one side knows what they're doing, the other side doesn't, it's pretty much a steamroll. I still haven't gotten a chance to get into the infected game mode. I really was excited to try that. The lobbies that I was playing last night weren't loading, so I don't know if something was going on or if, anything else was happening. American Dad made the team deathmatch version, and it is of course to 69 points.
69.
There are bots within Team Deathmatch, and I think it's if there isn't a full lobby, it's going to generate some bots for you to kill. It seems like the time to kill inside of Team Deathmatch and all these games are actually pretty low compared to the full vertical extraction experience. So it's kind of fun. I can imagine some private lobbies maybe being made. My big fear is that it's going to divide the player base too much and take away too much from the actual experience. But what I'm excited about is I think what they see is, why is Grand Theft Auto been relevant for the last 10 years? It's because the users are making fun race maps. They're making a bunch of challenging maps for you to do. They're making a bunch of fun game modes for you to do as well. So I think it's a smart idea to do that. I just hope that there are some prizes that you can still get from playing these experiences and be able to use them then in the full-on vertical extraction shooter. I think that would be really cool. So there's an incentive to win these games. There's some prizes. Maybe you get a Deadrop at the end of one of these games, a victory at one of these games. And maybe it's not like, you know, the S tier stuff that you'll get in there, but maybe it's some stuff that could help you get started in the map. The driving, I think the driving's pretty good. The spacebar is kind of like a handbrake / normal brake. So you can still keep pedal to the metal and then hold down the spacebar to get kind of a slide going, and then release the spacebar while still holding W, and then the car will zoom off. The boost feels really good too. It felt a little weird trying to get used to it at first, but I think I'm pretty used to it now. Shooting is done with your right mouse click. You can also use that to hold it and to look around who's behind you. Again, it's kind of important to show up to the tower early. Again, I kind of wish there was maybe some more incentives to get to it other than just getting to there first and possibly being better loot in your area. I still haven't confirmed if that's true or not, but they were kind of hinting that there may be better loot in your area if you get there first. But overall, I'm having a pretty good experience with it, other than I just can't get any wins. I did get one win last night, and it was with a squad. So that's the other thing I'm running into. It feels like I'm running into a lot of squads lately if I'm playing alone. You know, I kind of want to be a lone wolf, lone game. So I've been running into a lot of squads versus myself, and they're able to put me down very fast. But I know it wouldn't be right just to put them in a different lobby than the lone wolves, because then it's like a different queue, and then you're splitting your player base once again. You are able to automatically fill your squad if there are people looking for a squad as well, and that is actually how I was able to receive a victory on cold storage. So there's one victory for Snapshot 7. I'm sure we'll try for some other ones. I don't know what I was expecting, other than I think they were working pretty hard on the user-generated stuff, and I think they were working hard on the racing, and I think that stuff could be really cool. Again, I just wish there was some type of incentives in these custom games, and also some way of making sure that people don't cheat, because this is actual items that you own. If you extract the items, you own the items. So there has to be some type of balance between that the developers have to do, but I still think there has to be some incentive to play these games. I think that would be really cool. Just some bare bones incentives maybe. So anyways, that's my experience with Snapshot 7. Having a good time so far, and I'll be sure to be playing it a little bit more throughout the week. If you've been playing as well, or if you're watching from the outside, let me know your thoughts. I still believe you can purchase some driver keys, and then you can get access to the game and then future snapshots as well. So feel free to hop in anytime you want. I'm having a good time, and also they do look for your feedback. So you are the playtesters. Like I said, this is pre-alpha footage, pre-alpha gameplay, and they're really looking for the community to really help them out in this. So let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.